Hey, I'm Jay Kumar, the BassBlaster, and this is your Seafoam and Kistler rods top 5 of the week in bass fishing. Number 1. Do you remember? No, not that. This. Or more to the point, this. Does that young dude on the right with that $500,000 check look a lot like this guy?
Similar.
Yep, similar because it's the same guy, Tucker Smith. He won that Bass Pro Shops $1 Million tournament in 2021 with his friend and Auburn University bass and teammate Logan Parks. And now they're both on the Bassmaster Elite Series. And now 4 years later, almost to the month, Tucker went out and won another $500,000. It was in a new tournament put on by the state of Alabama called the Ultimate Angler Championship. The payouts were insane in this one. Yeah, insane in the membrane and insane in the brain. Tucker won the big prize.
The big kahuna!
Okay, he won the big kahuna. Now, before you say, another video game kid won it.
Kids are always better at video games.
Word, but this tournament was no forward-facing sonar even in practice. And even though Tucker knows Guntersville from living on it, he hadn't fished it completely without forward-facing sonar in a tournament since he won one there in high school. Not only that, a bunch of other guys did real well without forward-facing sonar in this tournament, including another former Auburn fishing team member who also knows Guntersville and who also won a major tournament with Tucker Smith, Hayden Marbut.
It's so crazy.
Right? Hayden finished tied for 7th, but back to Tucker. How did he win this deal? Number 2. How did Tucker Smith win the recent $500,000 for first new tournament put on by the state of Alabama called the Ultimate Angler Championship? Well, first of all, he gave credit to God for blessing him. Solid, man. And fishing gear-wise, I can answer that question in 3 words. Humminbird side imaging. Now, Tucker said that's pretty much all he did both practice days because it was a no forward-facing sonar tournament. That's right, no forward-facing allowed, and yet a young angler still won it.
Dang it, dang it.
Ah, come on, Hank. Anyhow, Tucker said he side scanned for structure and sneaky places he thought other guys might miss. And he also wanted to find fish both deep and shallow because he said the deeper fish are more predictable, but the shallow fish are bigger. It turned out that both depths produced for him, but his best spot was one single rock in a rock pile, shallow. He said he had to hit that one rock with his jig and then pop the jig over it. Now, when it came over, the fish would either eat it and then spit it fast, so he'd have to smack them real quick, or they just wouldn't touch it, or it got snagged. He said he lost like 30 jigs on that one rock. Now, his other main spot was the last spot he fished on day 3 when he didn't have much. It was another shallow spot, and he ran there on day 3 when he didn't have much and popped them on the same jig, because that's the bait he weighed 100% of his fish on. And here it is. That's a 3/4 ounce Picasso tungsten football jig with a 3-inch Yamamoto Yamacraw. Both were green pumpkin, although when he ran out of the green pumpkin jigs, he used a similar color called Tex-Mex. Why so heavy a jig when he was mostly fishing up shallow? Well, here's what he said. I wanted to be on contact with the bottom the whole time. When you snap a jig and it falls down really quick, it's a better reaction bite than the lighter jig. They suck it in or don't eat it. There you have it. No forward-facing sonar and one on a jig, so... All right now. And... Yes, they are, and even though he looks like it, Tucker ain't no kid. Number 3.
Step aside, homeschool. There's a new sheriff in town.
Yes, there is, and his name is...
Jack Sparrow.
No, sir, Captain Gets It. It's not Jack Sparrow, it's Spencer Sheffield. The Arkansas MLF Bass Pro Tour Pro just won the biggest tournament there is in the West, the One Bass US Open. Write his name on that trophy. This one was on Lake Mohave, which is on the Nevada. That's a good one. This one was on Lake Mohave, which is on the Nevada-Arizona border. Now, Spencer is not the first guy to win this tournament from a state that's east of the Mississippi River, because Arkansas isn't. but he might be, or probably is, the most Eastern guy ever to have won the US Open. Now, I could not get a solid answer on that, so if you know, please let me know. Anyhow, Spencer, who's the son of former Bassmaster pro Ron Sheffield, said winning this event has been his primary goal for the last 4 years, ever since the first time he fished it 4 years ago and realized what a big deal it was. Since then, he's never finished lower than third, and now he won it. For winning, he got cash, a boat, and this.
Donkey! Donkey!
Not sure how he's going to get that back to Arkansas, but all good. Things are different out west, man. A lot of well-known dudes have won the US Open. Guys like Rick Clunn, Gary Klein, Aaron Martins, John Murray, Byron Velvick, Cliff Perch, and Josh Bertrand. And by the way, Aaron and Cliff both won it 3 times. Well, add Spencer to that hallowed list, man. How did he catch him? Number 4. How did Spencer Sheffield become maybe the most Eastern guy to win the prestigious One Bass US Open? He said one big reason is his skill with forward-facing sonar, which in his case is Garmin LiveScope. He told me he thinks that Eastern guys have been a little bit ahead of the Western guys when it comes to forward-facing sonar, and that's an advantage he had. It turned out to be an even bigger deal this time on Lake Mohave for 3 reasons. One is that where Spencer was fishing, it was just a basin. No bottom contour changes, no rock piles, no hard bottom, and really no bait fish. So I guess it was kind of like fishing on the moon. Walking, fishing, whatever. Basically, he was hunting singles. Now, the second reason being good at forward-facing sonar was an advantage in this tournament was just seeing the fish, because when the sun got up, they were basically welded to the bottom. He was fishing for smallmouths, and if you weren't good with forward-facing sonar, you could basically miss them down there. And lastly, Spencer said a ton of carp were swimming around the bottom. So you had to be able to tell what was what. Now, when he saw a bass he wanted, because it was on or close to the bottom. Okay, yeah, bottom. Anyhow, he did not fish a minnow. He drop shotted a 3.5-inch Z-Man jerk shads in Gussie's favorite color, smelt, and a G-Crack Emo Kamushi, which is a fuzzy bait. He also shouted out his lines. White 15-pound Yozuri Super Braid 9, which is new, to 10-pound Yozuri T7 Premium Fluoro, and the number 2 VMC Redline drop shot hook he was using. He said he never lost a fish on it. How did he feel about his win? Pretty much like this. He was fired up. Number 5. John Cox and his best bassin' bud, Keith Carson, both grew up in Florida and know a ton about fishing for bass shallow, which is pretty much all they do, and they do it real well all across the country. Now, I've been in the boat with these guys, and let me tell you, they know stuff about fishing shallow that even other pros don't know. Even just stuff about fishing their number 1 favorite bait, which is the Berkley Maxcent General in the baby bass color. It would blow your mind.
Bass.
Yeah, baby bass. They've asked me to keep this stuff secret, so I have, and I haven't seen them share any of it. But in a recent Bassmaster.com post, John leaked a little. Now, there's some good stuff throughout that post, but to me, the juice is right at the end. Here's what the last paragraph says. To me, the General is not so much a brim imitator, or some people say bream, as it is a brim attractor. Brim love that Maxcent, and they will come out and start pecking at the General like they're trying to eat it. Pretty soon, all that commotion gets bass attention. It's so cool to watch a bunch of brim fighting over a General, and then a big dark shadow flares up from underneath and inhales everything in one slurp, including the General. Have you ever thought about fishing a Maxcent General to get the bluegills fired up, to then fire up the bass?
No, man, nothing like that.
Exactly. And if you haven't fished a baby bass colored Maxcent General before, you might want to. John and Keith catch them all over the country on that single bait, but Maxcent does make them a little crazy. All right, that's all I got for you this week. Thank you for watching. Thank you, Seafoam and Kistler. See you next week. God bless you.